in other Golden Globe news, Ricky Gervais popped up on social media yesterday and reveals what he might have said if he was invited back to host the Golden Globes. Now, I will say this. I like Ricky Gervais. I like some of the jokes and stuff that he tells because he's willing to, cross that line. I don't mind, if people want to go over and cross the lines and all that other mess because I live for the shade. But some people, in Hollywood, y'all get a little too damn sensitive. Like I said, I even like the joke about what Nikki Glaser said yesterday, where she was talking about that, how celebrities are so influential, except for when y'all try to tell people who to vote for. I did like that joke. She was like, I'm scared. And Ariana Grande, hold my finger. And then she decides to hold Cynthia Erivo's finger instead. I'm like, when y'all say hold my finger, was that a fart joke? But anyway, so Ricky Gervais, he has hosted in the past the Golden Globes 5 times, and he took aim at Justin Timberlake, Kevin Hart, Diddy, and the Vatican as he shared a taste of some of the jokes that he would have used if he returned for Sunday's award show, which would be hosted by Nikki Glaser for the first time. He said, sat in the bath wondering about what I would say if I were hosting the Golden Globes on Sunday. It's been a pretty good year for material. This is what he wrote on Twitter after previously hosting in 2010, 11, 12, 16, and 2020. Or as Barbara Walters would say, 2020. So he began, hello, and welcome to the 82nd Golden Globe Awards. What a year it's been. Hundreds of entertainers jumped at the chance to go to the Vatican to meet the Pope, many from Hollywood. Obviously, they weren't content with only being part of the second biggest pedo ring in the world. So when he said I did cackle. Then he also went on to say Justin Timberlake was convicted of drunk driving. If he'd have gone to jail, he'd have heard the word sexy back a lot more often. And then also, so what else he said? Oh, so we had another joke where he went on and said the following. He said Kevin Hart said that being at one of Diddy's parties was uncomfortable as he wouldn't leave him alone. Eventually he had to shout, I'm a midget, not a child. Now, a lot of people would have been upset. I'm not midget. Little people. You couldn't little people now. Whatever. I just get so irritated when it's like, you got to try to keep up with all these new terms and names and things. And people get all bent out of shape in regards of, you can't say that. Child, suck my ass. I'm sitting up here trying to say what we can and cannot say in regards of, certain terms and things of that nature. So, his jokes come after Glazer said she's not going to go so hard at anyone. I mean, that anyone's going to be offended during her hosting gig at last night's award show. He said, I made a point not to, she said, I made a point not to, and that's not to disappoint anyone who's hoping I'm going to pull a Ricky Gervais. I'm not Ricky Gervais. This isn't my last Golden Globes. This is my first one. He really went hard on his last one. He was ready to burn some bridges because it didn't matter anymore. Well, why does it always feel like they always feel like when you say certain jokes or whatever the case is, that it's a case of, oh, you're burning bridges. It's like, celebrities aren't exempt from getting roasted. Y'all already know, like, when you go to these shows that somebody's going to go and tell jokes. You can find ways to tell jokes in a clever way where it's not so mean-spirited. Like, there's a difference between roasting or funny and it being just crude. We've seen that play out many a times when we watch episodes of Drag Race where they tell you, like, you can roast people, but you got to know where to toe that line, where it's just not, like, real just nasty and mean-spirited and uncomfortable. And we've seen when a lot of queens have tried to do that, where they've gone over the line, but they weren't funny. It was just like, sis, what are you doing? And then y'all wind up in the bottom. So that's usually what it is when it comes to that whole situation. I thought those jokes were pretty clever. And I would have loved to heard those type of jokes. I mean, Nikki Glaser did tell a joke. She told some Diddy jokes and all the other stuff. I do think it would have been pretty funny to tell that Justin Timberlake one because it's like, yeah, you would have heard, if he would have went to jail, he would have heard that phrase sexy back a lot more often. And so it was a bottoming joke. So I'm here for the shade. I just think, like, look, celebrities didn't need to stop being something. I get it. It's like when it's award shows, like you're nervous and you're hoping to win or whatever the case is. So you're a little uptight. But as Nikki tried to tell that joke to Harrison Ford that went over his head, that it was he couldn't decide between, what did he say, the Sabrina or the Ariana, then you can go and get like the indica. She's trying to tell a weed joke or whatever. And I was like, well, look, maybe you need some damn weed to relax. Or who says they not on it? You know, they probably down with eating all them damn edibles and stuff at them award shows. So I say, well, there's to say, what do y'all think of them Ricky Gervais jokes? Would you like to have heard said jokes at the Golden Globes? And what were your overall thoughts in regards of how you think Nikki Glazer did, if you happen to see it? Even if you haven't seen the award show, the clip is floating around on YouTube. You can actually watch the opening monologue, her opening joke situation. So you don't have to sit and watch the whole damn show. So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.